Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Ramon, your host here at Omni Games. Welcome to my channel. This is gonna be the very first video. I mostly play Magic, and what I'm gonna be try doing here is I'm gonna try to bring you guys some news, deck techs, a couple games, like just fun stuff. So today we're gonna be doing a deck profile for my Modern Death and Taxes deck. This was my first Modern deck. I haven't been playing Modern for a while, so this is like an entry level Modern deck. I guess it's not like a $2,000 deck that's really expensive. So this is a fun deck. It has some really good matchups. So let's go ahead and start the deck tech. We're gonna go by converted mana cost, and we're gonna do creatures, spells, then land. And I'll try to give you some explanations as the cards come along and where they're good at. So we play 4 Judge's Familiar. It's a 1/1 with flying that you can sacrifice it to counter a target instant or sorcery unless your opponent pays 1, which it can get pretty annoying. We play 3 Dryad Militant. It's a 2/1 for 1 that if any instants or sorceries that would be casted instead of going to the graveyard get exiled. So if you're playing against green, any type of like green strategy where they play Tarmogoyf or anything that really relies on their graveyard, this shuts them out of their graveyard plays because everything's now getting exiled. So your opponent's going to try to deal with this card. Also, like, these 2 creatures are like your early game, and they get in there, they attack, they do some damage. So for the 2 drops, we have 4 Leonine Arbiter. This card is a 2/2 for 2 that your opponent neither player can search their library unless they pay 2 mana. And this card combos really well with other cards here in the deck that you'll be seeing in a second. And the good thing about this card is that it stacks. So like, let's say I have 2 out on the field. Now my opponent, if he wants to search and I have 2, they have to pay 4 mana to search their library. Like, he's like a key piece of this deck. We play 3 Thalia because Thalia is Thalia. Non-creature spells cost 1 more mana. And this kind of goes into the taxes thing. Now your opponent has to pay more mana for their spells, and it's just really good because it hurts Storm really bad. Here's one of our, this is how we get damage in. 3 Blade Splicer. We got a nice sexy foil one over here. When this card enters the battlefield, you put a 3/3 colorless golem token on the field, and as long as she's out on the field, the golems have first strike. So it's every time she enters the battlefield, not when it's casted. So that's another strategy that we have in this deck. We have stuff that blinks stuff in, like this one. We have 4 Flicker Wisp. It's a 3-drop 3/1 flyer that whenever this card enters the battlefield, you exile a card, and at the beginning of the next end step, the card comes back. So let's say we have a Blade Splicer with our token, and we cast this, the Flicker Wisp. We're gonna blink this out. Once we pass turn, she's gonna come back in, and she's gonna give us another token. So it combos really well. So we have 4 Flicker Wisp. We have 2 Mirran Crusader. It's double strike protection from black and green. This is a beater. This deals a lot of damage, and it protects against black and green. That's pretty good. We have 2 Aven Mind Sensor. It's a 2/1 for 3 with flash. If an opponent were to search their library, they can only check the top 4 cards of their library. So if you're seeing the theme here, like I kind of try to make it hard for my opponent to play. So if I have a Leonine Arbiter out on the field and they try to search and they pay the 2 mana, then I can flash this in, and now they can only search the top 4 cards for their library. Or even with like a fetch land, like if they want to fetch and I don't have Leon and Arbiter out, I flash Even Mind Sensor, and they can only look at the top 4 cards of the library. Another card there we have 3 Restoration Angels. One's Korean, but that doesn't matter. So basically, Restoration Angel is a 4-drop. It's flash flying, 3/4. That whenever she enters the battlefield, you exile target non-angel creature you control, then return the card to the battlefield under my control. So it comes in, blinks something, and then it immediately comes back. You just can't be angels. But so Restoration Angel is like a key piece also in this deck, and she's a 3/4 with flying, so she deals a lot of damage. One of our win cons in this deck is Akroma, Angel of Fury. So she is a 6/6 with flying, trample, protection from white, and protection from blue. It's 8 mana cost, 3 red, 5 colorless, and it's a 6/6. So you're probably wondering, how do you get this card out? Like, you can never hard cast it because I don't play any mountains. So basically, this card has morph. So I can pay 3 mana, cast it face down, and then I can use one of my blinking spells to blink her out and have her come back face up. Because when you blink a morph, it exiles, and then the card comes back face up because the card doesn't know that it's a morph. It just comes back face up. And this gets around Restoration Angel because since it's a morph, the card doesn't know. Neither card knows that this is an angel while it's face down. So you can Restoration Angel, blink it back. Now you have a 6/6 flying trampler with protection from white and blue. So this is one of the, if I can get this out early on, like, it's pretty much game. She's a one-off, so if it happens, it happens. But usually the way we win is we annoy our opponent and then we beat him down with all our creatures. So that's the Akroma. Onto the spells, we play 4 Path to Exile. So you remove target creature from the game, and its controller searches for a basic land, and it comes into play tapped. So with Leon and Arbiter, they can't search unless they pay 2 mana. Or if I play this and I don't have Leon and Arbiter, I can always flash in Even Mind Sensor, and now they can only look at the top 4 cards of their deck for a basic land. And that's how this deck works. Like, we basically lock out our opponent out from different plays. So Path to Exile, it's really good in this deck. I love it. My opponents sometimes, they're like, I see what you're doing. Like, they kind of get surprised. Like, I'll play Leon and Arbiter, and they'll say, okay, this is kind of weird. Why do you have that? And then I go Path to Exile. They try to search. I'm like, you can't search because you're tapped out. We play 4 Aether Vial because we can put creatures in. All our creatures in this deck have enter abilities. So when they enter the battlefield, you don't have to cast them or anything. So we play Aether Vial. We just flash stuff in. And even if we don't need to flash anything in at the end step of my opponent, like, I can flash something in, and at the beginning of my turn, my creatures can attack. So that's really good. Aether Vial is at the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a charge counter on it, tap it, and flash in a creature with converted mana cost equal to the number of counters on it. So on this deck, we usually want to go for, ideally, if we have 2 out, would be perfect. 1 with 3, 1 with 4, or earlier in the game, 2 and 3. Just depends on your hand. This is a 61 card deck, and what makes it 61 cards is this card, Sword Body of Mine. You don't have to play this. I just play it for fun. It's a win more card. If I can get it off, I can. It can be a dead draw, but I like to have fun. Sworn Body of Mine gives a creature protection from green and from blue. If I deal damage with this card equipped to my opponent, I can my opponent has to mill 10 cards off the top of their deck, and I get a 2/2 wolf token. And this also gives my creature +2/+2. So my favorite combo is equipping this to a Chroma and basically watching my opponent cry. We play 13 planes. It's modern, so I pick some older style planes. Just 13 planes. Then onto some of our combo cards, I guess. We play 4 Ghost Quarters for land destruction. And what's good about these lands in this deck is that, especially Ghost Quarter, you can tap it, sacrifice it, destroy a land. It can destroy target land, and my opponent searches for a basic land, and it doesn't come into play tap, but ideally I will have Leonin Arbiter or Aven Mindcensor in hand to where I don't allow them to search. So it's really good. Land, it gets really annoying. Then we have 4 Tectonic Edge. Again, land destruction. This one, your opponent has to have 4 lands or more on the field, and you pay 1 mana, tap it, and sacrifice it, and you destroy target land. So it's really good. It also plays into the Death and Taxes thing. And then 1 Cavern of Souls. When this enters the battlefield, you have to choose a creature type. If you use this to cast that selected creature type, that card cannot be countered. So depending on your hand when you play it, like I usually hold on to it unless I need the mana. But if I'm going for a Restoration Angel play, I put this down, Calling Angels, and now my Restoration Angel can't be countered. You can do the same thing for like Aven Mindcensor, or if you need other creatures out, you call whatever it is. And then Eiganjo Castle, you can tap it to add 1 white mana, or tap it and 1 white to prevent the next 2 damage that would be dealt to target legendary creature this turn. So it's really good. You can protect Dahlia or a Chroma. It's really good. So I enjoy the deck. So let's get into the sideboard. I'm missing 2 cards from the sideboard, but I'll get them soon. So basically, it's 2 Spellskite, which I'll get later now that Modern Masters 2 is coming out. 1 Mindbreak Trap. If your opponent casts 3 or more spells this turn, you may pay 0 rather than paying this card's converted mana cost. I can exile any number of target spells. So this is for like Storm. You just start knocking things off the stack. Again, Storm, Core Firewalker, anything that plays red really. It's a 2/2 protection from red. Whenever a player casts a red spell, I gain a life. Fiend Hunter. When Fiend Hunter enters the battlefield, you may exile another target creature. When this card leaves, return that card to the owner's side of the field. So this can combo really well with our Ether Vial to exile anything, and like let's say they attack into me, I flash this and blink out my Blade Splicer. If it's something that can kill it, I'll block with this, killing it, bringing Blade Splicer back, giving me another token. Or if something's really annoying me that I need it off the field, I'll put this in and I can get it out of the field for a while till they get rid of it. And then find out another way to deal with the card we have 2 Rest in Peace. When this card enters the battlefield, exile all cards from the graveyard. Again, it's good against graveyard strategies. Shits on Tarmogoyf. And anything that would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, it's exiled instead. It's a really good card. 2 Dismember. Target creature gets -5/-5 until the end of turn. It's 2 Phyrexian mana and 1, so I can pay 4 life and 1 colorless to play this card. And I mean, it's worth it if I need to get something off the field. And then 3 Stony Silence. Activated abilities or artifacts cannot be activated. Just roll decks, I guess. Haven't had to use this card. When I got the list off the internet, I saw it, and the guy was playing it, so I decided, okay, well, we'll see. Today I'm going to a modern tournament, so I'll see where this falls into. So that's the deck. Very first modern deck. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's there is a lot of strategy. There's everything, it is Magic. So yeah, I enjoy it. If you guys want to copy it, go ahead, feel free. But yeah, I'll be doing more videos about deck techs and such, gameplay later on in the future. I'm doing a Modern Masters 2 draft session here at my house. So on the 22nd, I'm gonna stream that, and you can follow me on Twitch at OmniGames321, and follow me on Instagram at OmniGames321, where I post when I'm about to stream or what I'm doing it. So please follow and subscribe, and I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the deck tech. And yeah, signing out. Have a great day.